I like you, you like me, if I like you, you like me, if I like you, yeah. If I like you, if I like you, you like me, if I like you, you like me, why don't we? Why don't we?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Not Another Couples Podcast.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Casey,
I'm Megan.
and today we're just going to have a good little time talking about video games.
You bet.
We have been playing through Baldur's Gate 3 and are going to do an episode on that soon, but it got us thinking it might be fun to just do an episode talking about like our favorite games and things like that.
Definitely. Between the two of us, there's been quite a bit of games we've gotten into, both just me and definitely a lot of games where just you played. But there's a handful that we both have played at some point or another.
Mm-hmm. Including we have a Twitch channel where we both have streamed
Really,
quite a bit.
it's your Twitch channel, but
At this point, it's both of ours. You're on there quite a bit.
you're on there far more than me.
Yeah,
But
which you can find at the adjunct twitch.tv/theadjunctgm. Right now, I just started a playthrough of Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which I am already quite enjoying.
please subscribe. We love subscribes.
Yes.
Please.
Megan, would you consider yourself a gamer?
To a certain extent, yes. I mean, it's not like I go about proudly declaring everywhere, like, oh, I'm a gamer, or I label myself as such. But, you know, if somebody asks me, do you game? Yeah, sure I do. Do I consider myself a gamer? Yes and no, depends on how you frame that question, I suppose.
Sure. I grew up, I've been into video games since I was a kid with an SNES. Did you play video games growing up, or was that a later in life thing?
Yeah, I did, actually. I mean, I was going to say you are definitely a gamer by far. I mean, we even just today in a conversation with our family, because it's Labor Day at the time that we're recording this, you almost always get into conversations about with our friends and family over a specific video game, one or the other.
My cousin was talking about wanting to play Cyberpunk, and I was telling him that that's probably in my top games.
You're definitely into Cyberpunk a lot.
It's a favorite for sure.
But I did play a lot of video games growing up, especially if you consider, some people might not make, or maybe consider them a specific category all their own. I played a lot of PC games growing up. My parents were never of the ones that thought video games were brain rotting or horrible for you, whether it was just the typical Nintendo games they had at the time. But really, I sort of played on the SNES. This was one of our questions, really. What was the first video game I ever played? Like, really played a lot and actually tried to play it. I had to really think about this. I want to see if you can guess, because I've talked about it before.
I'm going to guess like Roller Coaster Tycoon or something to that effect.
No, even earlier than that. I did play Roller Coaster Tycoon and Roller Coaster
Gotta be a Barbie game then.
No, even earlier than that, but I did play a lot of Barbie games on the PC.
What about that Mickey's Carnival game you've shown
I never played, I've never played that until up until a few years ago. I watched my brother play it. So I didn't play it, but I watched it.
I give.
Mario Paint.
Mario Paint's a good one.
Mario's
Paint's
a
definitely
classic.
good
Mario
one.
Paint's a classic. Yeah.
Love it. I can't tell you what my first video game was. I can tell you the first game I beat on my own.
I
which
have a
was,
separate one from that I
Mario
beat, too.
64. Unless you count Pajama Sam, don't be afraid of the. Or I forget the name of it. I have to look it up now. Pajama Sam 1. There's no need to hide when it's dark outside. That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a long
I loved
title.
all those humongous studio computer games as like a little kid. That one, Putt Putt Goes to the Zoo, Sly Fox. We need to get Kiddo. They have a collection of all the humongous games for the Switch.
We grew up in an era where PC games were really like booming, like really having a huge market with younger kids. There was a lot of like learning games on the PC was just becoming a thing. And There was for me, there was a lot of PC Barbie games. I collected those. I had almost every single one that you can think of. There's maybe I can count on one hand the classic Barbie PC games that I did not have. I even went as far as to have like the PC game, like some of these listeners are going to know it. And if you don't, look it up. There was a Barbie Genie game that literally you had separately hooked up to your computer tower. And it's a tower because this was a desktop computer back in like, I want to say 2002, that it was a whole genie bottle that you interacted with the game. It was that fancy at the time.
It's a genie in a bottle, baby.
It literally was that. But no, I would consider that a video game for sure.
I don't see why you wouldn't. I had all those. I really enjoyed as a young kid. I'll throw out a couple more kind of weird ones that I remember from early. Of course, the various games that came in General Mills cereal boxes. There was like the Amazon Trail. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I specifically remember the Amazon Trail game and the spearfishing mini game.
My brother had the baseball game that had
Backyard baseball.
Well, no, not backyard baseball. It was the General Mills baseball game where you had your team with Lucky the Leprechaun, Count Chocula, all
fun.
that stuff. It was great. Yeah.
And there was this game that I would love to find again that was on all of the. We had the big like colored. Multicolored paneled like iMac computers in classrooms when I was in elementary school. With the computer lab, whenever you finish your work, there was this game on the computers called Bugdom, which was like an open sandbox game where you played as a pill bug, and it was just like I'll have to show you sometime. But it was called Bugdom.
That's kind of a reach. I've never heard of that. Actually, that's pretty neat.
But were you a go to the arcade kind of kid?
You know what? This kind of goes on to where I grew up. There was no arcade where I grew up. I come from a very rural town, and I think I've already said it in our Picky Eaters episode, which if you have not listened to that one, please go take a listen. I come from a little town called Jackson, and there was nothing to do except the skating rink, the bowling alley, and go to a high school football game on Friday nights. And that was pretty much it. And or go out to eat somewhere. That's all that was available to do in Jackson. There was not even an arcade. So honestly, no, I was not a go to the arcade kind of kid. What about you?
When I could. We lived in the county, so it was a little far to go to the arcade very much, but I did enjoy it when possible. Mostly the one at Mr. Getty's or the skating rink to play the Simpsons arcade game or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. Would be two favorites, or the Area 51 with the shooter with the guns where you shoot at the screen. I found the title card for Bugdom.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's like it's basically that the game that the recent game where your kids that get shrunk. Help me. You know what I'm talking about,
on the tip of my tongue, yes.
Yeah, sort of that vibe, except you're a little pill bug playing in the backyard.
Yeah. I'll think of it. But to that end, you didn't answer this part of the question. What were your parents' take on video games? Because I know you played it a lot growing up, but there were some games your parents may or may not have been okay with, or maybe they didn't realize what it was.
It would be more that. The South Park game was a no-go, and Simpsons Hit and Run I had to get sort of on the sly. Resident Evil and Grand Theft Auto were no's when I was a kid, though I did rent them from Blockbuster a couple times anyways.
So you had to sneak video games.
Yes.
That sounds like you
as
a kid.
My Game Boy Color was one of my favorite possessions as a kid.
Mm-hmm. You had like a SpongeBob.
No,
Game
that's
Boy
something
somewhere.
I got way later. That was one of the younger cousins, and I just acquired it. I had a lime green Game Boy Color. I'm not that old. I'm not that young that a Game Boy SP would have been a thing when I was a kid. Goodness.
No, but you do have a lot of cool video game consoles in our house.
Yes, probably my favorite one is from when I was a kid. My brother and I got it as a joint gift at one point, which is the Hey You Pikachu Nintendo 64. Yep. I don't know where the microphone is, unfortunately, but
that's probably one of the coolest pieces in our house.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a neat one,
or at least in the game room.
Yeah, but anyways,
now, I think you said before, what was the first video game you ever beat?
Probably Mario 64.
Mario 64. I want to say for me, the first game I quote beat, like as in a game that is made to be beaten, because the Barbie games were not like that, was actually probably Kingdom Hearts. Nice. That's the first game I actually really dug in and tried to beat the game.
Alrighty. As we have discussed before, you can be kind of picky about things that you take your time in.
Yeah.
What do you look for when you want to play a game and decide you're going to stick with it? When you get hooked on a game, you get hooked on a game.
I do.
You've played Fallout 4 like 12, 15 times.
I have a very addicting personality. Not that people love me. They just can't get enough of me. Not that kind of addicting person. I have an addictive personality. Yes. I get so much into things that it becomes an obsession for short term or long term. Short term is in games. Long term is in dance and K-pop and all the other stuff that's made up a part of my life. But for video games, I had to think about this. It really all depends on if it's got something that already appeals to a particular interest of mine. So, for example, I said Kingdom Hearts already. And in our Kingdom Hearts episode, go listen to that one as well if you haven't already. In our Kingdom Hearts episode, I said the whole reason that I even picked it up off the shelf is because it had Disney characters on it. And that's been, I think, my favorite video game franchise of all time. Another example is, and I know a lot of people hate on the later titles of Assassin's Creed, but the first one that I got into and I still love and still like to play over and over again is Assassin's Creed Origins.
Still wrong. You got to go back and play the Ezio game.
But it leans so hard into ancient Egyptian history and mythology. And I love history like that. I love ancient Egypt stuff. And the way it leans into it, and you can tell the material was respected and well thought. And I love that game so much. But, it's not just about my particular interests as well. I also look for games that, help me relax, like Stardew Valley. That was another one I kind of fought you on a little bit, but now I love that game so much since you introduced me to it. Or I need a game that's going to help me blow off some steam, let out some frustrations, especially after I had a hard night at work or I'm mad at somebody, like Fallout 4. And, it kind of all depends. And sometimes it takes me watching somebody else play it. With my brother growing up, I watched him play video games and it made me want to try playing video games. Later, I watched you play some video. I never would have played Stardew Valley or Fallout 4 had I not watched you play it first. And then these days, also, I watch people on TikTok. Sometimes Twitch, but I'm not too much into watching people play games on Twitch unless it's a game I want to know if it's about or something like that. But that's mostly what I look for in video games if I want to give it a try or not.
I can say a lot of the same things, but I can say for me a lot of it is, there's probably the two big things are a good story and something that's reasonably challenging. A lot of the games that are more like cinematic experiences are not my thing because they're too easy. But I also love a good story. I mean, we'll get to talk about some favorite games, but I mean, like Mass Effect 2 and Dragon Age, a lot of the BioWare titles, or like Chrono Trigger, or
You could say the one you picked up and started streaming today, actually.
Yeah, Claire Obscure is a good example. I've been loving Death Stranding here lately. Games that really suck me in and have great characters. I love a good RPG, but anything with an interesting story, a good villain, a good cast of characters. I love video game music, so a good soundtrack is up there. But yeah.
So, in that sense, do you enjoy competitive games, as in like competing against other people, online games? If you want to lump those two together.
I miss the era of co-op competitive games. I miss being able to get together with friends for some Halo 2 multiplayer and just play shotguns on Blackout and Halo 2, or capture the flag again, Halo, the Horde mode in Gears. Bless Mario Kart, anything like that. I miss couch competitive games. I've never been a huge online like competitive games person. I played a little League of Legends. I played so much Destiny in ranked.
You did.
But that was more living in another city and all my friends lived somewhere else. That was a good game to get on and play with friends, and that was the way to hang out with friends. They were living in another city
every night for like a year and a half.
And I had a great KD in Destiny. I guess I could say I used to enjoy those kind of games, and the more time goes on, the less I enjoy them. Partially because I don't like talking to people I don't know, and frankly, those lobbies can be real toxic.
I mean, that's the whole reason why I don't like online games, because I mean, there's still a stigma around girl gamers, and there's a lot of misogyny happening still with girl gamers. And not even that issue, it's just people are mean online because there's no face. People can just think they can do whatever they want, and they do whatever they want. And I'm personally not here for it. So I prefer not to do online games at all.
Can confirm. Maybe I'll log in and play some ranked something or sometime on stream. I know right now Battlefield, the new Battlefield 6 is real popular.
You talked about couch competitive. You love some Super Smash Brothers for sure.
I do love Super Smash Brothers. This is true, though I haven't played Super Smash Brothers in a hot minute, and I am not particularly good compared to some people I know, but it is a great game to just like play a few rounds with some friends.
I do like to play Mario Kart and
Mario Party.
And Mario, I get a little too heated with Mario Party. I will admit, I get a little too competitive with Mario Party, but yeah.
You want to say that one more time?
I get a little too competitive.
There you go. I'm just playing. But no.
What about RPGs?
Probably my favorite subgenre of video games. I've mentioned several already, but anything where I can make a character and live out in a fleshed out world. I suppose that's why I love D&D and tabletop RPG so much. It's a continuation of what I love in video games, which is good world building and good story.
I think I've accidentally leaned into liking RPG games the most because of the character creation. I mean, you talk about Skyrim, you talk about Fallout 4 and Fallout 3, Baldur's Gate. I've loved the character creation, and especially because I know we'll talk about this more, and I'll save more of this for our Baldur's Gate episode. But watching the character evolve and grow is really, really satisfying. No, I think I've ended up liking RPGs a lot. I know my answer to this. I love me some rhythm games. Like I used to be so good at Just Dance games on the Wii, but are we surprised? In college, I rocked at those. One
of the reasons I asked about arcades is because I wondered if you were a DDR fiend.
That is something I've never played.
Oh, we need to fix that.
I've never played DDR, actually. I've never had the experience.
What about Guitar Hero?
I think I briefly played it like once or twice when I was on a youth trip a long time ago. But other than that, I have not played it.
I need to find a way to get a hold of a couple Guitar Hero guitars or Rock Band so we can play some of that. Maybe that would be a fun stream sometime or something.
Sure.
But yeah, we can play some Guitar Hero. I'll have to find some controllers before we do that. Are there any other like subgenres of games that you're a particular fan of?
Cozy games.
Cozy games. That's a good one, and
Cozy
one
games.
I agree with.
I
You
love
much more
Stardew
than me.
Valley. I love Stardew Valley.
But you won't play Animal Crossing.
No.
Actually, this is a good
We've
sub-talk.
been over this. We've been over this. Now, before we go talking about Animal Crossing, I'm going to shout out a couple more. Disney Dreamlight Valley. I play that all the time, even for just maybe an hour a day, maybe even less. That's one that I can easily pick up and put back down and not feel like I'm missing out on anything. Would you consider Pokemon Snap a cozy game?
Yes.
Then I
think
love
so.
that game too. Yes.
Oh, Pokemon Snap is so fun. You need to play the original at some point.
I played to be specific, I played the
New Pokemon Snap.
new Pokemon Snap that's on the Switch. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, Animal Crossing and games that have what I call nonsense speech, nonsense talk, where they just go, no, I can't. It makes my skin crawl. I don't like it.
So,
I don't like it.
Animal Crossing, Banjo-Kazooie.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but it gives me a serious ick and I cannot stand it.
Interesting. Any
So-
other pet peeves as far as games go?
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but if I think of something, I'll let you know. What about you?
Microtransactions. Though.
Microtransactions.
That I'm
yeah.
just playing to the crowd. Everyone's going to agree with that.
Actually, yeah. No, that's hyper annoying.
Let me think. Oh, I actually don't like games with procedurally generated loot. Where it's there's, and I don't mean every game with procedurally generated loot. Like it was like Borderlands did it with Borderlands 1 and 2, and it worked really well, where it's like, oh, we have 1,067 different variations that can exist on weapons. And honestly, the later Assassin's Creed games are the worst perpetrators of just a glut of you have to go kill the same guy 57 times in order to get a good roll on the stats of the weapon you need.
Yeah.
And I don't like grinding like that.
Well, not every bit of the later Assassin's Creed games is like that. Now, to preface, I have played, as far as the Assassin's Creed, I recognize I need to play the earlier titles. I recognize this, but I've already mentioned Origins. Love that game. I've played it like 4 times all the way through with the DLCs. I love that game. I finished Odyssey. That was a massive game. I think I lost interest once they started adding DLCs to that. And I played through Valhalla. And that's where I stopped. I know I need to play Shadows at some point. For some reason, that's not interesting me as much as the titles I just mentioned. But I do know I need to play it. But yeah, they're getting a little bit bad. Valhalla started doing that, not with the big bosses, but like with the like lesser bosses. It started doing that, and it's silly.
I thought the Greek one was the worst about it.
I'm trying to remember. Not with the mythical, like legendary bosses. Sure. I want to say in the battles where you fought with either the Athenians or the Spartans, when you did like those head-to-head battles, depending on which side you were on, I think that was a big issue there with what you're talking about with loot drop and all that stuff. I think that's a good part of where that happened. I could be totally wrong though, but that's what I'm remembering at least.
I was going to say that the other one that really comes to mind for this type of issue is Ghost Recon Wilds. Which tells me that this is an Ubisoft problem. And they frankly are one of the worst studios. Just to say that is true. Which is interesting because we're coming off some studios winning back some trust. I mean, I've loved Larian since Baldur's Gate 3, and it sounds like we may be getting another Divinity Original Sin game next from them. I mean, Team Cherry just announced Silk Song, and man, if the marketing classes need to just study how Team Cherry and it's like 12 people made and marketed Silk Song, because it's just genius. So much so that other games have moved their release dates so that they don't have to compete with Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking about an indie game made by like 12 people
That's kind of impressive.
having a shot at Game of the Year. Awesome.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. But yeah.
No, that's pretty cool.
Megan, what are your top 5 games?
Okay. So I had to really, really, really think about this. And we did already say that PC games count. I don't know if this is in any particular, does it have to be in particular?
No, mine won't be.
Okay. I'm just going to list my top 5 games in general, no specific order. And I've already mentioned almost all of these already. Fallout 4, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. I'm a beast at that game. Stardew Valley. I can never get enough of Stardew Valley. Assassin's Creed Origins. And Zoo Tycoon.
Alrighty.
I played that so much, so much, both as a kid and I played it in high school. That was a game that I absolutely wore out. It got so many scratches from going in and out of the disk drive so many times. I specifically asked you to do something to my laptop on my computer just so I could have a version of that game. I bought it on Amazon and not able to play it because my current laptop does not have a disk drive, and we had to figure out how to make it work. And I was so happy that I could relive my childhood again. I loved Zoo Tycoon so much. And I mean, I'm an animal lover, so going back into the particular interests again. So now your top 5 games.
If I think about this for an additional 5 minutes, it would probably change entirely.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I'm going to go with Legend of Zelda, The Ocarina of Time, one of my oldest favorites, Chrono Trigger, Mass Effect 2, Halo 3, and I have a list here of possibilities. I think I'm going to say The Witcher 3 right now.
I figured that would be on your list.
Though Cyberpunk 2077 could easily take its place. And that's, again, I want to put Pokemon Crystal on there, which I think is my favorite Pokemon game. I want to put Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 on there. I also want to put Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. I really need like a top 20 to be happy about this.
I don't know if I have a top 20.
I could go through a top 100, I think. The Sid Meier's Civilization franchise, Banjo-Tooie, Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. I could go on and on.
You really could. This would make this episode another hour long.
It would be easier for me to, like, if we or think about a genre of game, then I could do a better job. But those are the 5 that came to mind when I was thinking about it.
You did a pretty good job there, I'd say.
Best console in your mind. I asked you for a top 5, but I'll just ask for your favorite console.
Honestly, I've mentioned PC games so much, but that's just because that was a staple of my childhood. But it's not my favorite simply because PCs, I mean, I'm never going to go back to the glory days of gaming on a desktop computer anymore, unfortunately. But I will honestly say, I think it's the Xbox One we have upstairs because it's versatile. A lot of titles are on the Xbox. We have access to Game Pass, and there's just a lot that we can do with the Xbox One that we can't with our other consoles, personally, that are exclusive to some of those consoles. Xbox One just has so much to offer.
Fair enough.
Yours?
GameCube. Incredible lineup of games, incredible piece of technology for the things it was competing with at the same time. I mean, the PS2 is also incredible. That was just a good generation of consoles.
That was on my list too, was the PS2, because that's our first game console that I really got into.
I love me a GameCube, and it's got some incredible peripherals that you can add to it. The Game Boy player was a game changer. I mean, Beautiful Joe, Pokemon Coliseum, my favorite iteration of Super Smash Brothers. I could go on and on about the GameCube's roster of games, and they're incredible. So I'm going to have to go with GameCube.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense for you, for sure. And then you mentioned soundtracks earlier. I'll go ahead and say at least a couple that I like, and one of them's probably going to surprise you because I've not played this game before. Obviously, I love the soundtrack to Fallout 4. The way it's like the way they incorporate old retro music in with the post-apocalyptic setting is really awesome. It's even better. I personally like to play with the mods a lot, and I also add in the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracks overlay as well. It's pretty nice. I like the Stardew Valley soundtrack, especially the summer one. That's kind of just in everyone's head when they play Stardew Valley for the first time. Then I like the Witcher 3 soundtrack.
The Witcher 3 has a great soundtrack, and you hear it a lot because I use it for D&D all the time.
Exactly. I've never played this game. I don't know if I ever will, simply because it's a little bit too gory and graphic for me. But I do recognize that The Witcher 3 has some excellent music.
I assure you there's no graphs of any kind. It's not graphy at all.
There's the witches.
It's not graphy at all.
And there's the story that, yeah, I can't handle. It should come with the trigger warning, really, but...
Yeah, fair. I'm going to have to say, for video game soundtracks, I mean, there's a ton that I love. I think Minecraft is probably up there with, like, having beautiful music. But here lately, I just finished Death Stranding, and I think Death Stranding 2 has incredible soundtrack, great music. BB's theme is on my regular playthrough playlist now. And I just played a little bit of Undertale and remembered how great the music is in that game. So I'll shout that one out as well. But lots of great soundtracks in video games that I could talk about. The Witcher 3 is also up there for me.
Yeah.
And of course, Cyberpunk, which was expanded on by the anime series.
Right.
I have a question, Megan. Something that you were asking about computer games being or counting, and of course they do. Do mobile games count as video games?
If I cannot give an in-between answer, honestly, I'm going to have to say yes.
I think you're right. I think that I would like to say no, but I realize that it's gatekeepy, so I'm going to say yes.
I mean, the whole thing about video games, it's played on a screen. No matter what the type of... I mean... I have quite a few mobile games on my phone.
With the wild trailers that I think it's about your grandma giving you a house, but she's also a murderer.
I have not played that game in a while, but it's a merge game. It's like Mystery Mansion or something like that. No, that was on my old phone. I'm actually the games that I'm into right now are like the Match 3 games with Tucker Snack Attack. That was created by one of the people I follow on Instagram, Tucker Budson, the Golden Retriever. Kind of giving them a little shout out. But I also play the typical, like, there's a screw game where, like, it has this 3D puzzle and you tap on the different screws and it comes apart until you have one screw left and you have to match up the colors. So
I was about to say, we can't talk about screw games on this all ages podcast, Megan.
How'd I know you were going to make that joke? So immature.
You know me.
But no, if we want to get down to the very definition of video games, then yes, a mobile game is a video game in every sense. Especially when they, we mentioned this in our Kingdom Hearts episode about when video game franchises branch out into the mobile world. With Kingdom Hearts, they made a game specifically about the prequel of Kingdom Hearts, like the origins of the Kingdom Hearts War and the Keyblade War, excuse me. And then aren't there also some Modern Warfare or Call of Duty games that are also on mobile now? Because not everybody has a gaming console.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I see ads for it all the time.
Balatro was in contest for Game of the Year, so...
I mean, there you go. So, yes, I do think mobile games count as video games.
Very good. I just want to throw in here that something talking about video games made me think about was the downfall of physical media. There's been a lot of talk about like with the Switch, how you don't own your games anymore. When you get a game, it comes with a little disclaimer that says this cartridge is just a like key for you to have access to use the game.
Yeah.
And it's not actually on the cartridge. And then stuff about like hard locking the system if you accidentally mess with it or something.
So then I'll ask you this. Is it a Nintendo problem?
It's not just a Nintendo problem. I mean, Ubisoft's been on that wagon for a minute. A lot of studios have, and I appreciate the studios that have held fast to know you own your games. Mm-hmm. I mean, Steam's a whole thing, right? Like there was recently an article about how Steam said that it is their opinion that you can't pass down your Steam library to someone else in like a will. So like I can't leave my Steam past like I would love to be able to like have in my will that someone gets my Steam library and you can transfer it over to like your email address or something. That's not possible, and it really should be.
So it's literally like sharing your Netflix password, but like, oh wow.
No, I've got all that stuff written down just in case, but you know, that's weird. I think you should.
I don't agree with that one bit. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I didn't know that.
And I have a shamefully large Steam library.
Oh, you do. You do. You tell me all the time, like, oh, I wish we had this game, or like, we don't have this console.
It's
like,
Humble Bundles.
It's on the Steam.
It's Humble Bundles.
It's on our computer right now. Go play it on the Steam.
Yep. And Steam sales, which we're coming up on the winter sale soon. But yeah. Very good. That's really all I have. Do you have anything you want to add?
We, at the time of recording this episode, are very close to finishing up the main story of Baldur's Gate 3. I'm very, very excited about it. We've got some tough fights ahead of us, I believe. I'm excited to talk about it in more detail on a future episode, but we're going to kind of hold up back most of our thoughts on Baldur's Gate 3. Just know we're having a lot of fun. And this is also our first real game that we've played long term together.
Yep.
So it's been a great experience for the both of us.
Yep. Speaking of which, let's go play more of that. Megan's got to go smooch Karlach.
Just like you have to fail at romancing Shadowheart.
You know.
Well, you know we always have to end this with a joke, right?
Yep.
All right. So this one's definitely a groaner, but I like this one, and I'm going to see if you get it. What's a gamer's favorite fish?
Go fish? I don't play fishing mini games. They're the worst.
What's a gamer's favorite fish?
I don't know, because I'm a gamer and I don't
Cod.
Like...
COD. Cod.
That's pretty good. Okay.
I thought it was pretty great.
And with that, see you later.
Bye.
If I like you, you like me. If I like you, yeah. If I like you, if I like you, you like me. If I like you, you like me. Why don't we?